Good morning, children. Welcome to the online classes for the 10th standard of 12th period. So, in the last 11th period, we have studied the point related to the Indian foreign policy of India. And some points we have seen after the Indian foreign policy, we have seen the next policy followed by the Indian government to develop the good relations with the China. That Panchashila principles were signed by the government of India at the time of Jawaharlal Nehru, that too in the 1954. But after this, again we are going to see India has passed the Indian foreign policy, but with this, India always also following the international, or it is following the foreign policy with the world countries. So once the time came to India after the independence to follow this types of policies towards the other countries. So once we have seen the Panchashila principles were followed by the China and India. But again the next policy followed by the India, that policy is going to be called as the which policy? Non-aligned movement. Non-aligned movement. So what is the meaning of align here? Align means getting together or getting combined or merged towards the one party. So here India has followed not the allied movement, but it has followed the non-allied movement. India don't want to make a relation particular to the one country, but it want to develop the relations with the all countries. It want to develop the foreign policy with the all countries. It want to support to the all countries of the world, because India was not specified to give the importance for a one country. For example, USA, or you can take the example of Pakistan. So many times we are going to see India has not allied with any countries. Just like the USA, which is a powerful country, Pakistan was a very weak country, but it want to develop the good relations with the all countries of the world. So that's why it is going to be called as the India has followed the non-allied movement. Non-allied movement you got now. It don't want to align with the any country. So you can see the point given related to your textbook. The world was divided into two powerful blocks at the time of after the Second World War. When Second World War was completed, that time we are going to see there was the world was divided into two blocks. One is the two powerful blocks. It may be the winning block, a victorious block, and it may be the block belongs to the defeated block. But there were two blocks we are going to see. These blocks are going to be called the powerful blocks after the end of the Second World War. So you know the countries. One side we are finding the USA, one side another country of the powerful block we are going to call as the USSR. So according to the non-aligned movement policy, India don't want to make relation neither toward the USA, neither toward the Russia particularly, but it want to develop the relations with the both countries. So see here the second point is telling us the democratic countries were under the hegemony of USA. The democratic countries were under the hegemony of USA, and the communist countries were led by the USSR. So the independent countries, the sovereign countries were under the control of which group? USA group, and the parties belongs to the communist group or the communist countries. Those were entered toward the USSR. It means some countries made alliance with the USA, some countries have got alliance with the USSR, but India is the one country which are not allied with the USA and not allied with the USSR separately. It don't want to enter in the any group because it want to give the importance to the both blocks, and it want to get the support for the development, because up to 1947 India is totally destroyed socially, economically, politically, in the all ways. So that's why we are going to see it has not followed the allied movement policy, but it has followed the non-allied movement. The next point is, in those days, India, it is become the compulsory. In those days, India followed the policy of being non-allied to either these two blocks. We don't want to follow any separate allied toward the any countries. So it want to give the importance to the both countries. Next one, why it want to give the importance to the both countries? Because one side India was financially underdeveloped, and one side India was military. Indian military was also very weak. So that time, you know that India has secured the financial assistance from the USA. It has taken the financial support from the USA for industrial development, and it has taken the military support from the USSR. Not at the time of 1947, till present also, we are going to see India is going to take the help of both USSR and the USA in regarding any problems related to the military or any problem related to the finance. So totally, it was discussing with the different countries, and it is going to take the support. So that system we have seen since from the 1947. Now it also deals every international level events independently and welcome or criticize any issues independently. So when India want to get the relation with the any countries of the 200 countries of the world, it has its own power. It has its own independent rights. So according to the rights, according to the sovereignty, India independently discussing the points, and it is making the relations with the any countries. That type of policy was followed by the India. You don't want to get the support of USA to maintain the relations with the other country. It don't want to take the points from the USSR to develop that relation with the any other country, but it was taking the independent decision for making the relations, and always it is criticized to support independently to the other countries. Now, the credit of creating an independent policy of being non-aligned and making it part for the foreign goes to India. After this, you know that, so by this way we are going to see at the time of 1947 when Jawaharlal Nehru was ruling as the Prime Minister, it was started, but it was continued for the many years, and many leaders have followed this non-allied movement. After that, we are going to see the next Prime Ministers. The next Prime Minister who belongs to India, they, for example, Lal Bahadur Shastri, you can take the example of Indira Gandhi. They have also continued the same policy as the non-allied movement. They are not allied with the any countries. So these points have helped India or the Indian Prime Ministers as a non-allied movement, and by this way they have supported to the many countries. You can take the example of always India is going to follow the peace development in the country, and it wants to develop the peace with the other countries. You can take the example of war of 1965 and the war of 1971 with the Pakistan. So, at the time of Lal Bahadur Shastri and Indira Gandhi, we are going to see these people have followed the non-aligned movement with the Pakistan in the 1965, but Pakistan has not accepted. It was made war with the India. So then again, India again followed the same policy in the in between the 65 to 71. But again, we are going to see the war was started in the 71. So after that also, we are going to see many wars were happened with the India and Pakistan, because India always wants to maintain the non-aligned movement, but Pakistan don't want to support to the India. So like this way, China also not supported. You know that in 1965, 62, China also, after making the agreement of Panchashila agreement, it has made war with India in the 1962. So present day also we are going to see how the relation was there with India from the China. So by this way, many ministers belongs to the India. You can take the example of Vajpayee government. When Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister for the India, he has also followed the good relations with the neighboring countries by getting the non-aligned movement policy. That foreign relation was developed by these leaders to get the good relations with the Pakistan, but it was not supported to India. So this is the second policy followed by the India to maintain the foreign relations with the other countries, that is non-allied movement. So after the non-aligned movement, the next policy followed by the India was, that is anti-imperialism policy. So see here, always India was not followed the policy which was followed by the other countries. Here it again has followed the next policy was anti-imperialism. It has not followed the imperialism. It has followed only the anti-imperialism, opposite to the imperialism. So here we have to understand what is the meaning of imperialism. Then only we'll find the meaning of anti-imperialism. So imperialism means the foreign policy of India opposes the imperialism. And what is imperialism here? So imperialism is an attempt. Imperialism is an attempt by a sovereign country to take over another sovereign country with the intention of ruling it for its personal gains. It means the independent country, a sovereign country which is having more power, that country wants to gain the power or want to show the power to the another sovereign country which is weaker than that sovereign country. So that type of power showing towards the other country itself is going to called as the imperialism. So I will give the example related to our country only. Already India has faced the problem of sovereign, the power of sovereign country, or the point related to the imperialism. How India was ruled by the British for the more than 200 years. So it was under the control of British government. So that itself is going to be called as the country going to be called as the imperialism country. Which country? India. Because it was under the control of British. It was not having any kind of power. So after becoming the independent, India don't want to get again the policy related to the imperialism. It wants to follow the anti-imperialism policy. So in short, I will tell you what is the meaning of imperialism is, one powerful country wants to make attack with a weak country. but both are the independent countries. So you can take the example of USSR is an independent country, and Pakistan also going to be called as the independent. But USSR, Pakistan is the weak country. So USSR want to get attacked toward the Pakistan. That is also independent, and it want to finding the imperialism was started. It is showing its power. USSR showing its power toward the Pakistan. So India, because India already suffered from the British for more than 200 years. So that independent India. So see the point given in your book. With the intention of ruling it again. So why it was going to rule? Britishers, why it was ruled towards India? To gain something from the country, and it has taken a lot of wealth. So see here, it was natural for India. It was natural for India, which gained its independence from imperial country, to oppose such a move of other countries. Already it has gotten a very important, it don't want to lose that independence. So it has opposed towards the imperialism and followed the anti-imperialism. Now the next point, no corner of the world shall have imperialism, and India also wants to support to the always giving the or declaring the words. In the world also there should be no follow of all the world independent countries, sovereign countries should follow the anti-imperialism. That was the declaration going to make by the. So one declaration in India's conference in the Asian countries, we are going to see two examples were declared imperialism, that is 1949 and the 1955, and these conferences New Delhi and once in the Bandung. So all these two conferences we are going to see, they have declared the word imperialism policy. So now we got the idea related to the anti-imperialism. So again the next policy was followed. Next policy is going to be called as the anti-apartheid policy. So the next policy after the anti-imperialism, we are going to see the policy was followed by the India in the government to maintain the relations and to develop the good things, the good relations with the other countries. That is called as the anti-apartheid policy. So what is the meaning of anti-apartheid policy here? So apartheid policy means there that time when we have seen the achievement of the independence in 1947. Since before the independence itself only, we are finding the anti-apartheid policies. So apartheid policies were going in the world. So what is apartheid policy? Apartheid policy means the policy or the power showing by the human beings according to their race. So you can take the example of one black person. You can take the example of white and black. White and black people. So one white person who is financially strong, he is showing the power toward the black person. That is called as the apartheid policy. It means the policy depends upon the skin color. It was run on the basis of the skin color, or you can call it as the race. The policy following on the basis of the race. So you can take the example of Africa. You know the Africa, in Africa only, you know Gandhiji, who is going to be called as the Mahatma for India, he was stayed for the long period in Africa to make the solution between the white and the black. So there we are finding the white people who belongs to the French, England, Spain, they are ruling in Africa and they are making the problem towards the people belongs to the local, that is Africa. Those people are considered as the black. So blacks are not allowed in the a good position or the good status. Only the whites are having the good status in the Africa. So that system itself is going to call as the apartheid policy. It means the white people showing their power toward the black people. The same point we are going to see in India. India is also following the problems related to the apartheid policy because India was combined with the different colors, different languages, different castes. So due to that, it may be the problem for India. And already India was going to be called as the brownist. We are going to be considered as the brown people. So brown people had looted from the white. Brown, we the Indians are going to be called as the brown people. Already we are got effect from the white. Who are the whites here? British are going to be considered as the white. Our French, Portuguese, Dutch, who are ruled for India. So these problems we have faced. So it is better to follow the anti-apartheid policy in India. So it was the system started in India to maintain the foreign relations with following the anti-apartheid policy. So once we have to be go through toward the textbook, there the point is given related to the apartheid. In apartheid, an attempt by a race, or a people of different skin color in the name of supremacy. Why these people are fighting? For their showing the supremacy towards each other on the basis of color. Next, the apartheid is an effort or an afferent to the human rights for the world peace. Why India want to follow the anti-apartheid policy? Because India want to maintain the peace in the world. So it don't want to support toward the apartheid policy. It want to maintain the anti-apartheid policy. See, always India has followed the anti-imperialism, non-allied movement, anti-apartheid policies. So main aim was to maintain the peace in the world. So that time you can see the foreign policy, India declared that even you know that no country of the world shall practice this type of apartheid policy. In the last policy also we have seen anti-imperialism. There also the declaration was made in the Delhi and the Bandung conference. So in the same way, again India declared that. The word was declared by the ministers belongs to the foreign affairs that no one countries of the world should not follow the which policy? Apartheid policy. It is not better for the good peace development in the country. So we have to be follow the anti-apartheid policy. We have to be supported each other. So examples I have given related to the Africa. You know that one of the important person who fought for African people, that is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, who belongs to the black group. So I think you have studied the one of the topics related to the Africa poem in the 9th standard of English. There you are going to get the idea related to the what is the condition of the black people at the time of when whites were ruling in Africa. So Nelson Mandela has made the solution and he fought against the apartheid policy. That time India has supported to maintain the anti-apartheid policy in the Africa. So India declared to give the support to the Nelson Mandela to oppose against the apartheid policy. So now we got the idea what is apartheid policy. Apartheid means the supremacy showing according to the skin color or the race. So India followed anti-apartheid. It means we don't want to follow a fight on the basis of the color or race. So next point we are going to learn in this chapter is disarmament was the next policy followed by the India to develop the foreign relation. So actually the aim of India was to maintain the peace in the world because it has seen lot of struggle, lot of trouble from the many countries, and it has seen the two wars, First World War, Second World War, and it maybe not be the problem coming again in the world. So for that, it was developing the new policies to maintain the peace. So the next policy is disarmament. So disarmament was the next point followed by the India in the foreign policy. What is the meaning of disarmament? So you know well the meaning of armament. Armament. So type of instrument we are going to use in the wars. Types of machines are the instruments we are going to use in the wars. It may be the gun, it may be the bomb, it may be the any type of instrument. That is called as the armament. So see how the India has followed. It has followed the policy disarmament again. India don't want to develop the new armaments because already the world was faced two wars. And there was a lot of loss we are going to see from these two wars that India also suffered in this First World War and the Second World War. Now, we don't want to see the position of coming the Third World War. Why? Because armament development makes the problem for the making of wars. So you can take the example of present itself only. Today, what the problem we are facing from the North Korea? So you know the North Korea. So North Korea always showing its power, always it developing the fear to the world countries. How even the USA also getting the fear from the North Korea because the person who belongs to the North Korea, he was going to develop the fear toward these people by showing its armament power. So that time India wants to stop the armament and it has followed the disarmament policy in the country. So the main aim of following the disarmament was that time we are finding the process of elimination of the specific arms step by step is called as the disarmament. It means the India want to stop. It want to eliminate. It want to eliminate. The meaning of eliminate is to maintain less production of what? Armament. It don't want to develop the more armament in the world. That policy want to develop the India. That is called as the disarmament because the world was competitive that time. After the Second World War, The world was competitive, and the two blocks which are become the powerful, they have started to develop the armaments, and they are going to sell the armaments in the different parts of the country who are getting need. So why these people, powerful countries, were making markets to get the development of wealth, to get the development of wealth in the country. You know that USA and USSR are the two powerful countries. That time they have started the competition of the production of these armaments, and this production may be affected toward the world for the Third World War. So that was a fear for India, and it has started to follow the maintain the disarmament policy with the world countries. That we are going to study in this point, that is called as the disarmament. So one point I want to tell from the textbook side, that is the countries with massive and may attack another country intensely or by the mistake, by accident, or triggering massive devastation. It may be happens. So maybe or may not be USA purposefully going to attack toward the USSR, or USSR going to attack toward the USA. That may be happens accidentally, that may be happens intensely. That should not be come point in the world. That's why India want to follow the disarmament policy. So what is disarmament here? Disarmament means they don't want to develop the more armament in the world. So it was the one policy followed by India to get reduce of arms qualitatively and quantitatively both in the world. So since the Nehru, India has supported to the not armament, it has supported to the disarmament process. So practically India was attempting to maintain the disarmament policy in the world relations, and it wants to give the protection to the other countries from the making the release of armaments. The next point, the Constitution of India, or the Constitution of India's Article 51 advocates in the international policy that aims at establishing the international peace and the cooperation by developing the disarmament policy according to the Article 51. The Ministry of External Affairs, the Ministry of External Affairs of the central government plays a decisive role in formulation of foreign policy by developing the disarmament system. Now, always we are going to consider that our national interest was according to the public opinion. We are going with the public opinion, and Indian foreign policy always aims with strengthening the unity in the world. So it is always going to support toward the UNO. That you know that United Nations of Organization. And by this way, India has strived to develop the strong relations with the other countries through the many types of policies, or the many types of through the world countries. You can take the example of SAARC. So this is the one of the Commonwealth and nations, as well as it wants to get the support of from the all countries of the world. So moreover, we are going to see India has been one of the member of UNO in the present day, that you know well. So by this way, India has maintained the peacefulness toward the world countries by developing these type of 5 types of foreign policies till today also. So we are finding India is maintaining the peace in the world. So So these are the problems arises now. We know that present COVID-19 has made the point related to the development of the Third World War. That situation we are going to see today due to the development of armament. But always India followed the disarmament. So by this way, today I will complete the topic related to the Indian foreign policy. So after completion of this reading of this chapter, you have to be write the notes related to this topic given in your link.